Okay, now in this step we're going to add our axle holes and our cylinder holes. Now the axle holes are pretty easy because we've already drawn those. We've just drawn them back in time. So, me being lazy again, not naming my sketches. So that was the cut extrusion. This is my side pod cut. Alright, so I'm going to go back in time, go back to my regulation sketch and turn that one on. So I can see these are the ones I want to cut extrude. So we're just going to go extrude, select both of those. Now again, if it's not selecting the thing that you want, click and hold, choose profile from there, and drag that out. And I'm just going to make sure instead of going one side, it goes symmetrical. And it doesn't matter how far you want to drag this one out, it's just going to cut it. Okay. Now what Fusion does once you've cut it, or once you've done an extrusion, or whether it be cut or join or whether any other feature, is it will hide the sketch which you've just used, because it just goes, well, you've used that sketch now, it's probably going to be in the way, so I'm going to hide it. It doesn't mean it's gone, it's just hidden, so you can always turn it back on up here, regulations. So with this design, where the hole comes out of the body, it's curved. You can sort of see from this angle here, the hole's got a curved surface there. Now, we have to put a flat object in this hole, like a cylindrical object, but it's got a flat face on it. So we actually need a flat surface to push this, push the grommet up to. And sometimes you rear one. In my case, I do have a curved bottom edge, so I'm going to have to do the same on the rear. If it's only a tiny bit, you can get away with it. Possibly get away with it on the rear there, but we want that grommet to be as straight as possible when we put them in. So what we'll do is we're just going to extrude out a little bit of bodywork, so we've got a flat object to push it up to. And luckily, we already have that. So if we turn that regulations back on, this 3mm offset which we created earlier is a perfect thing. So we can use that front and back. If I can click and hold on that back one, make sure I get the top half of it as well, just in case. And we'll want to extrude it outwards. Now I don't need it to stick out of the body at all, like it's a suspension or something like that. It doesn't need to stick out, it just needs to go symmetrical. The whole length is going to be 26. So when I put the grommet in, I've actually got a flat surface for it to mount to. Now, on the back it works really nicely. The front usually doesn't look super nice, it looks a bit froggy. You can add fillets and that sort of stuff to it to sort of make it look a bit cleaner if you want. You won't be able to put anything massive on because this it will start sort of deforming the shape of that profile, which may be something you want, but just so you know. And as I said before, when we use that machine, the machine that we'll use to manufacture this car, will actually be a 3mm fillet around that hole anyway. You won't be able to get any closer, so might as well pop that one on, just to sort of represent what it's going to look like. And these lines on the design sort of aren't super flattering, so if I were to just go to display settings, visual style, just turn this to shaded, it's probably not, it's not as bad looking as it looks with the lines. So obviously got these two, and then axle holes, and then we'll need a hole in the back of the car as well. Now you don't have to do this now, you can wait till a bit later to drop this in, because often when you put in your rear wings, when you create it, we'll have to move it anyway, or recut that hole. So You can leave it for later, or you can draw it now. You could use the hole tool. I prefer to use just a sketch on the back of the car. It's a 19mm diameter. Finish the sketch on that one. And we'll extrude that minus 52. It's the depth of the chamber. Now, if it cuts a hole out the top of your car, there's something very, very wrong with your design, and that can be traced right back to this body sketch. You'll be able to see, if this line here is sort of down here, it will cut a hole straight outside the car. So you will need to move that up if that's the case. But hopefully, if you followed all the steps so far, you shouldn't have any dramas with that. Alrighty, starting to look like a car. Next thing we need to do is add the front wings and the rear wings before we can move on to the assembly process.